taking care of my health is a really high priority for me. I want to live long, just like the next guy, but I also want to live well. I feel like I've been inundated these days with biohacking and crazy supplements and all kinds of juju and gadgets and so on. And that's not really what I feel like it's all about. I think that there's a lot more basic things that we can do to help us to live well, live longer, that are just kind of tweaks to maybe what we're already doing. And so in today's video, what I want to talk to you about are 5 really easy, actionable things that you can do starting today that are going to make a difference. Because especially here, we're in our 60s now, and do you know, we really want to stay on top of it. You know, I'm so glad that 60 is the new 40, but hey, you know what? We are looking to the future, and I want to stay healthy. I want to do everything that I can to stay as healthy as I am today. So let's start with these 5 things. No money required, no ordering from Amazon, no special equipment necessary. 5 things that you can do to make a big difference. Let's start with number 1. And this is going to surprise you because I know what you think my number 1 is going to be, but it's not going to be that. Number 1, get your hearing tested. Wow, that is crazy. Now, do you know that age-related hearing loss can really start hitting us in our 50s? Okay, there are lots of other different reasons why people can have hearing loss, but age-related hearing loss generally starts in our 50s. By the time 60 plus rolls around, in fact, ages 60 to 74, a third of us are already experiencing significant hearing loss. And by age 75, half the population is experiencing severe hearing loss. Well, that's like astounding. And if you think that maybe you're saying to people, what was that? What was that? And you're missing a lot, it's more than just your hearing that's being affected. You know, they've made a very, very significant link with hearing loss and Alzheimer's as well. There's social isolation, depression, because guess what? You don't really want to be involved anymore. People are rolling your eyes. You're embarrassed because maybe you're saying, what was that? And you're not really being able to participate. So, you know, these are very good reasons to go and have your hearing tested. And maybe there's nothing, and maybe you're A-okay, and that's fabulous. But that is something that can make a big difference. That's something that we don't often necessarily think about. And it's more than just our hearing, because there is that cascade effect where it can affect a variety of different parts of your life. Let's move on to number 2. When I mentioned that the hearing loss may lead to social isolation, do you remember that TV show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And you had 3 lifelines? Well, one of those lifelines was call a friend. Well, no truer words were spoken. You need to call a friend. That is really a metaphor. But yes, the bottom line there is you need to maintain social connections. And hey, maybe it's not that you have a friend that you can actually call. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that we all have to have a soulmate. But we do have to make an effort to make social connections. And you know, maybe that's hard. Maybe you say, well, I live rurally and there's nobody around. Well, you know what? You have a computer. If you're watching YouTube, you probably have a computer. So, you know, look outside the box. Maybe you want to join an online Zoom book club. Maybe you want to find a knitting club close by. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily look for your best friend, but you need to make connections. You need to volunteer. You need to join something, kind of come out of your comfort zone and be a part of something. You need to be able to speak to people. You need to communicate with people, and that keeps you active and engaged. And without that, really, you have to be concerned about depression. And when depression sets in, well, that opens up a whole other kettle of fish. I don't know, can you open up a kettle of fish? I'm not really sure about that, but you know what I mean. You have to maintain these social connections. It keeps us happier. Again, we're leading to the depression part of things, and it's so, so important for our overall happiness, and happiness is health. So that is number 2. Number 3, let's go into the eating part of things. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you today about any kind of supplements or anything like that because that's not what this is all about. We're talking about the basics here. I really want you to prioritize protein. And why is that? Well, as we age, we lose muscle mass. It's just, you know what? Another one of those things, SGO, sucks getting old. But that's just what happens. And in order to build muscle, we need protein. And it's all too easy to just go with a variety of different carbs or look past the protein. You know, these days it's so easy to get your required protein. Have you ever noticed that every single thing has protein in it these days? It's protein coffee, it's protein cereal, there's protein in your pudding, there's protein everywhere. But how easy is it to get a good tasting protein powder and put that into your oatmeal in the morning? There's all kinds of protein drinks, there's boost drinks, there's little milkshake drinks. There's all kinds of different ways that you can get that protein. And you know, you really need to have about a gram, somewhere between a gram and a gram and a half per kilogram of your weight in order to maintain your muscle. And that is so important. And it's really not difficult. If you could just, you know, have some cottage cheese, maybe you have to tweak your diet a little bit, but especially women, we are just foregoing some protein, and we really, really need it, and our muscles need it, and our muscles will thank you. Okay, number 4. And I know that you think that this was going to be number 1, and these are not in any order, but I had to kind of get it down there at the end because I know that any of you that have been watching me for a while know that I am a walkaholic. And so number 4 is get moving. Now, I don't care if you walk. I love to walk. You don't necessarily have to walk if you don't love to walk, but you need to get your butt off the couch and you need to get moving. It is vital for good health is that you are going to be able to move around. So you can go in your kitchen and you can do the hokey pokey and you can turn yourself around. You can put the music on and you can start dancing. You can start doing Tai Chi. You're obviously watching YouTube. There's a gazillion and a half videos. You don't even need any equipment in order to be exercising, to be able to be active. Not only do we need that for our muscles, but our muscle growth, but we also need, I mean, our heart is a muscle. So we have muscles because we need to use them. So don't forget that. If we just sit back on our butt all the time, we're just gonna lose that muscle mass and then we're not gonna be able to get up. So, you know, if you remember that, I remember that, in that old Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I think it was, where, you know, put one foot in front of the other. You know what? You have to start somewhere. And I don't think that you need to become a power lifter and you don't need to be training for a decathlon, but you do have to get up and you do have to move. And that is vital for your health, your wellness, your thought process, your happiness, everything. All of these things are so interconnected that I can't even tell you, but they're simple things that you can do. Last and not least, go to bed. Go to bed. You know, are you a party animal or are you just sitting on the couch watching movies late at night? No, we need our rest. We need to restore. We need to repair. We need to have that rest in order for our systems to work properly. And it's so vital. So I know there's all kinds of, you know, sleep hygiene things out there. And I don't think that you need this crazy Oura ring, which is kind of driving me crazy. But we do need to prioritize our rest. It is also something that kind of puts the whole package together because, you know, if you're going to eat well and you're going to exercise and you're going to, you know, be out with your friends or you're going to be talking with your friends or maybe you're going to be volunteering now at the library or at the zoo or whatever you're going to do, then you need to rest and your body will thank you. And these kind of things, as I'm saying, they're not hard. These are not expensive things, but they really can and will make a difference. They'll make you happier. And I hope they're going to make you smile more because you know what? Smiling and being happy also translates to good health. So you know what? I hope that maybe you can take something out of this video and see that, yeah, it's kind of the basics, but this is not costing you money. This is just the kind of basics that you need to let you go forward because good habits, once you have good habits, going to last you a lifetime, and hopefully that lifetime is really going to last. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.